G'day YouTubers, how you all going? My name's Wilfred, Wilfred's PC World, Lakeside Cottage in Lochsport, Victoria, Australia. Today's date is the 28th of the 2nd, 2015, and we're going to go for a quick drive down to the surf beach and we'll see where we end up. Just got to drive around Lochsport a bit. I'm also going to have a say about what Darren Hinch said a couple of nights ago. He's right not to vote and so forth, trying to make voting so you don't have to vote, right? Which I think is kind of a mistake. Anyway, I hope you like this video, and if so, please subscribe. Now, what Darren Hinch is trying to say before is that he's a good shock jock, I'll give him that. I'll agree with a lot of his views, but on this view I think he's a total fool. Alright, simple reason is that I think we have the best democracy in the world, right? Or one of the best ones. The reason why I'm saying this is because we all are forced to vote, right? We basically keep the bastards honest, right? We don't allow big business to control our government like they do in the United States in some ways. Actually, in a lot of ways. Perfect example, one senator, right? There's a group of people in his electorate that basically voted, but they didn't vote for him, right? And so what he did, right, was moved the voting booths 3 hours away, right? Now, he had every right to do so in law, right? They don't have to vote, right? So all of a sudden, these poorer people that didn't vote for him in the first place are not going to travel 3 hours away to vote for him. So, on that note, that's not being fair or having the majority say. I'm not picking on just Americans saying America's bad and all this. I think there's a lot of good people in America. I know a couple of people in America which I like, and I think America can be a great nation, right? The other thing I don't like is the president has to go tail between his legs and the cap in hand and go to the Congress and up the debt ceiling, right? They're what, $16 trillion in debt or something at the moment. Oh, she's cold. They're $16 trillion of debt or more in debt. Now, let's go back to Australia, right? We all have to vote, and if you don't want to vote, you can make it anonymous, right? And and I like the idea of you're being fined for not voting, okay? The reason why I'm saying this is because the majority of Australians vote, right? The majority of Australians have their say about who they want to lead us, right? In Liberal or Labor, right? As far as I'm concerned, the Liberals have got basically they're in big business's pocket, right? They're handing glove type of thing. You can like to look at it that way with big business. They're taking up their ass by the big business. They're sucking their dick so hard it's not funny. That's my personal opinion, and I'll keep that opinion until the day I die. Right? Tony Abbott does not care about anybody else but big business or himself. Okay. Now, let's say we foolishly bring this law in. Now, the government then goes, okay, the government tries to come into power, and like there's 5 million people, say, voted for Labor in one section of say, Australia, and they didn't have to vote, right? So they were giving, the Liberals in power took the Senate vote, took the voting stuff away from them, made it harder for them to vote, made their lives a bit more miserable, so they're not going to go vote. Why would they vote? All of a sudden, if you try to vote, you've got to travel an extra hour or so out of your way, or they put it on a day that's going to upset your plans. You're not going to vote. You're not even going to make an anonymous vote. Right? As simple as that. So all of a sudden, those 5 million people who won for Labor, right, all of a sudden are not going to be there. Those votes are going to be non-existent. Right? But in the system we have today, those votes could win or lose an election for either Labor or Liberals, Greens or anybody else. And we are not controlled by big business. There's a senator in the Senate, a Liberal senator, trying to pass a law stating that, like, we don't have the greyhounds and all that, stating that if you did that, even with the police and you filmed it, the greyhound people can sue you, right, because they're losing profit even though they're doing something illegal. Okay, that's kind of stupid. We in Australia should never allow big business to take control of Australia. Okay, ever, like they do in America. The government is also trying to pass a law that the senators in America can see, right, if they waive a confidential agreement, right, if they sign that. And they're trying to pass that through the government. Now, if Labor decides to go down the same pathway as Liberal and says, oh yeah, we'll basically scrap the voting, compulsory voting, and we'll scrap other things like that, then they're just as bad, right? They're just going to look after the rich and themselves. Okay, we as Australians and the rest of the world, I think, all have to stand together and start voting. Right? If you're a legal age in America, right, and you have a right to vote, then you should exercise that right to vote and put the people you want in power. Not what certain senators want to have in power, not what certain little groups of people like the Tea Party and all that who want to be in power. You should consider what's going to be beneficial for you, your community, the land where you are, right, and the greater good for all Americans. Okay, that's how I look at how our system is.